Much to the shock of absolutely nobody on the internet, E3 2023 is officially canceled. This has been like the most obvious news coming for some time. So, according to this IGN tweet, the ESA announced today that this year's E3 has been canceled. The event was supposed to be held from June 13th to 16th at the LA Convention Center, and it would have been the first in-person E3 event since 2019. So, to the surprise of nobody, it's been officially canceled. I went to E3 2018, actually. Alex C&D gave me an extra pass. I went as a guest, and we had a lot of fun. It was a very cool event, but this day and age, when it comes to the online aspect, the internet, how everybody has their own Sony, showcases, PlayStation showcase, whatever you want to call it, Nintendo Directs, Microsoft does their own thing. At this point, unless there's something huge and really innovative, it's kind of an outdated, I guess, concept, which is unfortunate because E3 has always brought this feeling and like excitement to video games and just media in general. But yeah, most of the big companies never even officially attend E3 anyway. They do their own types of presentations. So there is a IGN post. We're going to take a look at it. E3 has been canceled. This literally just happened within the hour or so. But you can see that it has officially been confirmed. So 2 sources have confirmed to IGN that the organization announced the cancellation via an email sent out to its members. The email said that while E3 remains a beloved event and brand, the 2023 version simply did not garner the sustained interest necessary to execute it in a way that would showcase the size, strength, and impact of our industry. So, in other words, I feel that means that there was not enough big companies going to it, especially because I believe, was it Capcom that just said they were going to be skipping it as well? Don't quote me on that, but I believe there was a few major companies that said they weren't going to be involved. I think Capcom was one of them. Continuing on, that says the ESA concludes the email by reiterating its commitment to advocacy work. It does not mention undertaking the show again in future years. And here is Kyle Marsden Kish, Global VP of Gaming at ReadPop. This was a difficult decision because of all the effort we and our partners put toward making this event happen, but we had to do what's right for the industry and what's right for E3. We appreciate and understand that interested companies wouldn't have playable demos ready and that resourcing challenges made being at E3 this summer an obstacle that they couldn't overcome. For those who did commit to E3 2023, we're sorry we can't put on the showcase you deserve and that you come to expect from ReadPop's event experiences. So yeah, this was the return for, I guess, the first big public event after 2019. It was Ubisoft. Ubisoft announced that they would be not attending. I don't think Capcom made an announcement. But yeah, you can see this news comes from as multiple big names in the industry from Xbox, Nintendo, PlayStation, and Ubisoft recently announced that it would not be attending E3 in any capacity, with most opting to host its own digital showcases. So yeah, that's kind of been the consensus for quite some time, is that with this online media age, most companies don't even go to E3. I know the other day when I was in my live stream, somebody's like, what do you think about this? Is E3 officially dying? Blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, well, E3's kind of been a hit or miss event for quite some time. Again, most companies do their big announcements anyway during E3 week. I mean, you get the Summer Games Fest is usually like the Game Awards' own version of E3. I believe other companies tend to do their own types of things as well. And as far as an actual event where people pay to go and showcase their products, it's not really needed this day because most of the companies like Nintendo haven't done an actual like E3 presentation at E3 in quite some time. I know when I went in 2018, Nintendo did have a pretty cool booth. It was huge. It was humongous. It had a lot of Switch stuff on it. It was a very awesome booth. But as far as like actually having a presentation, the Smash Brothers Ultimate presentation was actually off-site at a different theater where I believe they had a tournament actually going on that coincided with a trailer reveal and stuff like that. So It's nothing new. This wasn't unexpected, and it seems like Twitter was actually like not surprised as well. If we go down the line and look at some of these reactions, again, this was nothing that was like, oh my god, we're in trouble. E3's in trouble. You could see E3 when Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo pulled out. I'm officially done. What it comes down to is simple. Companies have realized that they can one, make their own big live event on their own time. They can showcase what they want to showcase at their own discretion, and they don't need to outdo the competition, which is what I felt made E3 the one who made the biggest splash. Now that that element has been taken away, kind of sad, really. E3 was amazing. It was such a huge deal for companies to show up and shine. It had a great run. I'll miss it as a gamer. And I think it's officially dead. I do not think it's going to happen. You can see E3 was only really viable in the magazine age. Now we get new info and announcements like water. Release demos so people can play them instead. And that's fair as well. Like, it seems like a lot of times we get so many different announcements and random like shadow drops by Nintendo. Like so many times, like that Game Boy update for Switch Online. That would have made for a good E3 update, but they just threw it out there. Very sad to see but gaming is just not the same landscape anymore in terms of announcements and such. COVID made companies realize they could pretty much do everything they do at E3 for way, way cheaper, and that's just how it's going to be now. So I think even if COVID didn't happen, to be honest, I think even if COVID didn't happen, most of this situation was going to lead to E3 eventually not being a thing anymore, because different companies are doing their own events, like I said, and it is kind of like falling that way already. I don't think this is mostly COVID's fault. I think it was just the fact that as far as costs go and as far as being able to put your own stuff and produce something and do announcements the way you do and not having to pay a fee to E3, it just made things a lot easier. Because let's be honest, E3, just like any convention, makes their money off of vendor booths. And if big companies aren't wanting to come, vendors aren't going to want to come. Companies aren't going to want to come and promote their own little products if the bigger ones aren't coming, because the money goes where the attention goes. And if Sony, Nintendo, and Xbox aren't there, what's the fucking point? You know, are you going to put your random indie game over the side? And then you think about it, I think like PAX East just happened as well. E3 is so much more of a bigger event than like PAX is, but this will probably likely affect shows like PAX, MagFest, is it GCD or CDC or whatever the hell the other one is. It just seems like some of these bigger events that are like showcases for companies are dying. Well, video game conventions like Game On Expo, Too Many Games, and them are still rising because they're focusing on bringing voice actors and stuff like that. But E3 is not that type of a convention. So unless they adapt somehow, I think E3 is done. Again, to me, I saw this coming a mile away. What do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts down below. I'll see you on the next one.